Hey everyone, this is Louis7, and today I'm streaming the Lord of the Rings Online. This is sort of a part 2 to my last stream when I first came back, where I am basically, there goes my microphone, but where I am basically moving still transitioning from both Landroval, or both Anor and Arkenstone to Landroval rather. And I seem to be having issues with my microphone kind of falling down. The little attachment stand to it where it attaches to a microphone stand is sort of broken, but it kind of works. It just might slowly fall down over time. So hopefully we don't run into too many issues with that. But as I mentioned for this stream though, in general, it's like a part 2 to what I was doing last time, which is really just getting set up on the server and transferring characters. I should be mostly done with that. I just have a lot of organization to do, really. That's like the reality with these characters. I need to organize them. This character I will not be renaming. I did get Louis-7. I guess that is something we did not do because the transfers were not working and the microphone keeps falling. I might have to hopefully not do too much with that, but adjust it where it can at least stay up and maybe reposition it a little bit so it works. But yeah, did get the transfers working, so I thought that was an issue with my internet. You all might remember last stream had a whole lot of issues related to my internet, and I kind of assumed the transfer issues were because of my internet somehow as well. But it was an issue everybody was having. Yeah, it just keeps falling. Should probably mute while I'm doing that, but that part should be tight. And now if the microphone falls, it's entirely because of its fault, but it should not fall because there's now something physically in the way of it falling. Maybe I'll have to get some duct tape or something at some point to keep it up, but that is something I was not expecting to run into an issue with today. I also might be joined by Dan's Adventures, just so y'all know. I actually forgot about that because I just ate and started the stream, but yeah, so as far as characters I have on the server, I have 22 of 20 character slots. I eventually made the Louis army, mini version of it. Still might try to make more Louis, got to Louis-7, that's going to be my Runekeeper. I did get Louis-Den transferred over from Arkenstone, but he is not going to be my main Warden. Oddly enough, my 130 Warden, regular Louis, is now my main Warden. And then I have other characters to go through, such as my Lore Master. I have no idea what to do with him. My Guardian, also not entirely sure what to do with her. We have my Hunter. These are all like my low to mid-level characters that kind of get to that point around Moria where I just stop playing them. So we have Louis, my Hunter, Louis and the Champion, and then Lugler the Burglar. That's the guy in the thumbnail. And then I have Melrethel is the name my Warden was on Anor, and as I mentioned was basically a recreation of my first Warden named Melrethel. But I have a Captain Melrethel on the server. I was actually thinking about doing the Captain Melrethel and using one of my level 130 Valors. So I think that's the general gist of characters. Llewellyn's another high level one, 120 Beorning. And yeah, so I think one of the first things I want to do is go back to Louis-7 because he has some interesting things on him. And as I do that, I will get to chat. And hello, Jade Tov, and Omega Contagion, and Nibling. And yes, it does feel like the end of an era with Anor and Ithil. They were the, as you say, they're a bit more special than Treebeard and Shadowfax. They were also the original legendary servers, of course. So it definitely feels like an end of an era. For me it is, because Anor became my home server, really. That was my main server. And now it no longer is my main server. And basically because we're transferring Omega Contagion, as because Anor is shutting down in like 3 days or something like that. And as far as why Landroval, that is what my kin voted, what the most people voted for, as far as which server to go to. We have a few people on right now. So as far as like content to do, kind of like yesterday, or not yesterday, but last stream, I don't know if I have all that much to do besides still organizing and setting up my characters. That's why this is, I kind of consider it part 2 of the move, because it's like moving to Landroval still. And there's just a whole bunch of stuff to get set up, really. Even outside of like setting up individual characters, like just working on this character, doing whatever on him, it's like all of my characters I need to do stuff with. So the reason I was getting on my Runekeeper here is I think he has stuff of interest in his vault. He's also a pretty good character in terms of virtues and one I'd play, so I have a whole bunch of virtue XP things on one of my characters that I've just saved up from Valor's that I never actually used the virtue boost. So I don't have them all in my shared storage. I'm not 100% sure which character has them. We have some virtue things here. We have virtue accelerator tomes and some of the Valor ones that actually gave virtue XP. I have a whole bunch of those on one of my characters. And then, yeah. Y'all also might notice the camera angle is a little bit different. I'm not 100% sure on where it's set, but I have it, instead of wall mounted, well, not really wall mounted, it was more shelf, just laying on a shelf before, but instead of that, I now have it on a pole, on like an arm, kind of like a monitor stand at the back of the desk. So yeah, that's a little bit different than what I used with the last setup too in the last stream. So that's something I'm going to have to get used to and might adjust it further from where it is. I still don't think my background is ideal, especially with like just the kitchen being tiny and a mess from that. But we'll see how that goes in the future. Okay, so my shared storage just has so much stuff in it that I really need to organize. I don't know if I want to do that all today. I don't even know if I ever want to do it just because there's so much. I do have crafting carryalls on some of my characters. Oh, that's not a crafting carryall. That's a festive azure steed. Might as well go ahead and equip that. One of these, there's a carryall. That makes more sense. So this one's actually full on this character. I don't know, he is a forester, but not a tailor. So he has all this stuff that's useful for tailor, like even processed leathers. But I don't actually have his tailor up. Louisden, my level 140 warden, is the one with all the tailor stuff, or that actually does tailoring. So there are some things like that that I need to get to. I don't know if Louisden will stay to be my tailor. Maybe I should actually convert this character to my tailor, but that means I'd eventually have to go through that and go through the guild crafting as well. I'd like to get through that. And yeah, like this character's vault, he has a bunch of hides, ores, just probably stuff I've gathered over time on this character and even other characters and sent to him to keep his prospector and forester up, all that sort of stuff. Cosmetics, I have tons of cosmetics to go through, and they're spread like, it's not just like one character ended up with all my cosmetics, like one character from Anor, one character from Arkenstone, and even one character from Landroval. I did have some characters here before. It's not like I just have, say, 3 characters with all the cosmetics. So yeah, and hello, Ed. Yes, riveting inventory management. Very exciting content. I even have potions just randomly. I can maybe take those out and stack them. See, I just don't know where to start. That's really the problem. I have 2 level 120 Valors. I did not even realize that. I knew I had 1 level 120 Valor. I also, on one of my characters, have a level 130 Valor among other stuff. So I have back during Gundabad, there was an issue where like some people received twice the stuff. I think if you got the collector's edition, then upgraded to Ultimate Van Bundle, those players got twice the stuff. So then they updated it so the Ultimate Van Bundle people who just bought that without any upgrades got all that stuff twice. So That comes with a 130 Valor, and it will come with the Expedition and Delving supplies. These will be very useful for my Warden, who is on the server, that gives you... there's one somewhere, I thought, that gave you barter, not just for Gundabad landscape, but for all landscape content, increased barter token plus 10%. So that I thought there was... I thought that was a part of it, but maybe not. Maybe it's just the Gundabad one. Either way, I'd like to... Maybe I'll start to get to where my Warden can start questing through Gundabad. That might be a good starting point. So I will leave this character where he is for now and switch over to my Warden. And then one thing I do want to check is the LOTRO event schedule, just to see when the next Virtue XP boost weekend is. So yeah, characters here. A few of these characters I could delete, like the Lore Master and lower level Minstrel. I forget even what my Warden's called. Louis, that's right. Okay, so what I wanted to look at, yeah, was the next Virtue XP boost weekend. There was just one in the middle of July, so there will be another one in November. Okay, I don't know if I want to save all my Virtue XP tokens till November. I might just, like, go ahead and use them, even though it's, of course, most efficient to use them when there's even a 10% boost. Gets you quite a bit extra Virtue XP, especially in a game where you already need so much. Okay, so found an issue with this character. His inventory is full. We need to make an alt, or not necessarily make an alt, but set an alt up for storing stuff. So I think that is actually going to be the best first step. Maybe I could do my level 120 Bayoning. Probably not my Guardian. Could do my level 60 Lore Master as well, Louis-1. I'll have to wait for LOTRO to respond. So while we're doing this, a couple more updates about my stuff. Don't have cat cam yet. That's why I was looking at the cat tree. I don't have that set up yet, but hopefully next time. I still have to come up with a complete plan on that. And then my internet, as you all might notice, has actually been fixed, which is very scary to say, but it seems to be working now. And the issue was actually not Spectrum, it appears, which is a bit surprising, but I guess it's a good thing. It was my router, for some reason, was just like not working and being very inconsistent. So not entirely sure why. I don't know if I really want to look into troubleshooting that, but that was the issue. And now I am renting a router from Spectrum. Not entirely sure I want to keep doing that, but it's kind of like if I rent the router from Spectrum, it's $5 a month, so I can do that over the short term. It's actually more valuable to just rent from them, but if it's like a long-term thing, it would eventually be better to get my own router, but there's always the question of, will it actually work? Hopefully the camera and everything doesn't shake too much when I type. It's something I worry about with the desk, but yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. Okay, so this character is already storing this stuff. I had a feeling I used him for something like this. So anything that's legendary item related, with like coffers, boxes, anything like that, those will all be funneled to Louis-1. So that is the sole reason for logging into that character. And hello, Bella and Vane. You are wondering if Landroval is a populated server. It's not unpopulated, but it's probably not the most populated. I think it's in the lower to middle end, which with 5 servers, that probably means it's around 4th most populated. Y'all might have heard that, but my, for some reason the Bluetooth If I could plug it in here. Okay, it's really hard with a standing desk to reach all the way across, because when you're sitting you can like lean over it a lot better, but yeah, the Bluetooth has totally dropped. Bella, one of your cats, oh, there we go. One of your cats likes my voice. Sitting on your desk watching me, okay. That's neat. I have a cat shirt on right now. I don't think I have any cats in the background though. So, yeah. So I'm getting back to Louis. I feel like not all my lights are on, but I think it's because I got used to having... I don't have all my lighting stuff set up, but what I got used to was having a lamp behind each monitor, essentially, or at least lights behind the middle monitor and then lamp behind the left and right one. But right now I only have a lamp behind the right one. Now I have one on the right side of the middle one, and just like a standing lamp that's more of a temporary thing in the left corner, so it's something I'm having to get used to. Oh, Bella, you have your standing desk mostly set up as well. Yeah, I really do like that whole being able to stand thing. As I mentioned, it's a little bit wobbly if I'm typing, or even it's very easy to shake, but hopefully that's a good, not causing issues. Okay, so I have tons of carryalls on this character, yet he's still running out of space. It looks like this is just filled with a bunch of junk. I'm honestly tempted to just destroy some of the low-level enhancement runes, even though they could be useful for an alt. That's why I don't do it. They could always be useful for an alt in the future. So, yeah. It's just something that takes up space again, which I guess if I'm dedicating, I keep forgetting what I'm doing, I just distract myself, but we're sending Louis-1 all my legendary item stuff, that is right. And that'll be true on every character. He gets, maybe he should get everything equipment related, not just like legendary items specifically. Tracery 131, that wouldn't be bad to keep. Hello, the Zocker. Glad you're able to make this stream and doing well. It's a little warm in here, but I just turned my AC down a little bit. Ooh, I don't think mine has any discs that can be extended to the level of the desk. That would be interesting. That would probably help stabilize it as a little bit. It's a little bit more of a process, but to help. I think one of the reasons my desk is particularly wobbly is because it's 3 feet deep, which is pretty deep, and the support for it goes out really wide. It can actually go out even wider than it is right now, but it does not extend the depth very much. Okay, so I got those in. So now this character has room in his inventory. He has a bunch of crafting stuff, so who should I send crafting stuff to? Or should I just go ahead and get myself, say, a whole bunch of... Like, if I got this one, should I start setting myself up for Gundabad crafting on my Runekeeper if I transition my Runekeeper to that? That's something I could do to clean my inventory. I don't even know if I necessarily need hides though. Usually hides are like fairly easy to get in my experience. I have a whole bunch of small carryalls. I do not have the cat cam set up yet. That is hopefully for next stream I will have that set up. Okay, so let me double check that I did everything legendary item related, which I did not do. You can send traceries. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send all my traceries to him as well. And I will actually just go ahead and use all these little virtue XP things. Oh, apparently I had even more. Oh, are these bound to character? Oh, that's unfortunate. I guess they'll have to stay on this one. Yeah, I mentioned I could do like everything. So I can send him armor. I can send him Matham Hunter stuff. Even high level traceries. He'll just hold all that stuff, even if it's temporary. That will be a big relief for my inventory. Anything equipment related. Essence reclamation scrolls, that's something that should go in my shared storage. The problem is my shared storage is overflowing by over 200, so I can't really put stuff in unless it stacks. And I actually don't even know if it will let me put stuff in if it does stack. Because a lot of the stuff should be stacking, but it is not, so... And then I have stuff bound to characters. I actually tried that. I had stuff on like Arkenstone that was bound to a specific character, but I still tried to put it in to my shared storage and see what happened when I transferred. So basically the experiment resulted in not being able to use it, which is okay. That's kind of what I expected, but I thought it'd be neat if you actually could use it. Give me a chance to see that. Cracked Morgul Tracery. Wow, I have this gold barter tracery for level 121. That's unfortunate level range. Don't need that anymore. I can send that to my Runekeeper. If he's taking everything, this is... At least to me, this is the more optimized way to actually clear things out, is to... Even if you have to send that stuff back, or send it to another character, just get it cleared out, even if temporary. Okay, I don't know if he needs gold, but just in case, I'll send him a little bit. So that cleared up a lot of space actually on this character. Something I'm curious is how the vault looks on this character. Okay, I have a whole bunch of normal weapon auras. I'm tempted to destroy those, but they actually do have a use. So I'm not entirely sure I want to do that yet. Maybe I only need one of them though. Because I believe you could cosmetically equip just one of them. Use, say, let's see if I just try that. So this current outfit, I could put one in the cosmetic, and I could put it in the other cosmetic. Yeah, it's still glowing. I don't know if they got these to work ever, because it's clearly still glowing. Let me see if I switch out and switch back. Yeah, it's still glowing even though I have normal weapon aura cosmetically equipped. So as far as I know, my experience is that the cosmetics of the weapon auras don't work, and they actually do have to be in the equipment. So if I swap that with the equipment one, now it will disappear. So yeah, that is... Oh, you can actually do that on your shield? I saw the slot on the shield, but I never tried it. That's actually really interesting. It'd be neat if you could equip them cosmetically, but I don't know, maybe they consider that to be too... Well, now it's not. Hold up. See, now it's not showing at all. Let's see. This item, because corresponding slot is empty. Okay, that makes sense. What if I equip this one and show the shield? And then what if I do that? Oh, so that did turn it off. I wonder why it wasn't working earlier. I don't know. Sometimes there are issues. Yes, see, now it's showing though. Okay, what if I move it to that? Okay, it's not showing, but then I get rid of that, and it's still not showing. Let me switch outfits, and now it's showing. I don't know. Okay, now it's not showing on my weapon. Then I'll switch outfits. Now it is showing on my weapon. Oops. I don't know. Hello, Pedro from Peru. Very far away. Thank you for the welcoming to Landroval. I guess you play here. As me totally distracted. Carmoth from Germany. That is far away. Which I'm guessing, me starting the stream at an earlier time, it's like afternoon for me, 3:30 p.m. That would be 15:30 if you use that format for time. But anyway, yeah, it's a lot earlier for me than usual. Thought I would try that to get one, at least on the weekends. In general, like even before this whole long break, tried to do earlier on the weekend. Okay, I think the whole point of that experiment is I'll just keep that as it is for now. And try to look at other things. Ethilgalad crafting components. I don't actually know that I can get anything of great use out of those, except maybe the stuff can be used for ember-worthy crafts, but I'm not 100% sure on that. For me, it'd be woodworker. I don't even know if I can do that on this character. I'd have to look at a different character for that. Oh, I heard a cat earlier. I wonder if she knows how to get past the door. 1 second. Okay, I had the door closed a little bit too much. I guess she didn't want to jump on the box back there. Glad you like the videos, Carmoth. And yeah, the Zocker, unfortunately, for people closer to your time zone, it is definitely very late for my usual stream time, but even now it's can be pretty late. For me, that would be just about bedtime at 9:30. Okay, so I still have stuff. I believe this can be disenchanted into crafting materials, but again, don't know what I want to disenchant. So maybe his vault is okay. All this legendary item stuff, as long as it's not bound to character and is instead bound to account, I can send it to that storage character. I don't need this level 130 piece of armor. Hello, Luis. Glad you liked the videos. Another one from Germany. Wow. Okay, so that is set. I think with shared storage, the next thing would be to get some of my Virtue XP tokens. And just go ahead and use the little ones. Again, it's not the most efficient. It'd be best to save these for like a plus 10% or especially a plus 20% Virtue XP event, but that is probably not the best for me right now because I'd rather have the storage space than that. Surprised none of these things can stack together. Some of them are like not bound at all. Some of them are bound to account, and then these, that's probably just a new stack. I have another plus 25% attack damage, or plus 5%. I have one that stacks to 35 for some reason. I wonder if it's the duration. No, they're all 6 hours. Oh, Snow Lightbringer, you have good news? I have no idea what that cat's tearing at. I don't know. Probably a cardboard. There's a cardboard box like right there. I got some tomes. I guess it just merged all of the chests into like chest 1, chest 2, chest 3. So all these things are so disorganized, which is driving me a little bit crazy. I'm surprised chest 4 ended up so empty. It actually has a theme going on to it. I even have some crafting stuff in here. Oh boy. Short version of all this is I have a whole ton of stuff to get to. Okay, let's just go ahead and use these. And then I think next thing would be to log into some of my other high level characters and send their legendary item stuff to my LI alt, bank alt. As usual, it takes a while for LOTRO to work after switching characters, but one thing that actually happened was kind of interesting. When I transferred Louisden, it took a long time compared to all the other characters. It's actually a little bit worrying. It probably took nearly 10 minutes altogether for for Louisden to actually be transferred. I also did my shared storage, which might have had a decent contribution to the time, but it was kind of interesting. It took a lot longer than every single other character. But he is probably, yeah, we'll do him and then the Runekeeper next. So no, you have, hey, here's the cat, 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. Wow. 4 terabyte hard drive. MSI Z690, not familiar with that, but a motherboard. And RTX 3080 Ti, nice. That is one above mine, 3070 Ti is what I have. Oh yeah, this is the character with all the heritage runes. Okay, so he has some legendary item stuff. Okay, that's good. I don't know if I want to send all my heritage runes to the Runekeeper or the Lore Master. So I'm still thinking Louisden might be my heritage rune alt, and I'll eventually distribute those to characters as necessary. It's a little bit sad if I only mail one thing. That'll make this not feel like a worthy endeavor. Yeah, I think Redneck Adventures, it will take me a long time going from both Anor and Arkenstone to Landroval. Long time to get through this stuff. Here's all my Virtue XP stuff, so yeah, I can send all of that to my Warden that I actually want to use it on. I also have some reputation stuff in the vault. I have more crafting stuff, because why not? Cosmetics. I do have more legendary item stuff that can actually be sent to the Runekeeper, I think. Some of it's tier 14, which would be Gundabad tier. Should actually be, like, relevant. Kind of scared to look how many ancient scripts I have. 88,715. That's a decent bit. Despite the 10,000 cat, almost said cat, but despite the 10,000 cap, I have 88,000, which means I can't actually get any more ancient scripts, so it's kind of tough in a way. I have to just save everything, and anything that gives me ancient scripts, I like just hoard until I finally need more ancient scripts. Okay, but back on point, we are sending to Louis-1. And at least these 3 items, I don't immediately see any more legendary items related stuff. I'll sort just in case I find something else, and I am not anything equipment related. Essence box, that could be interesting. I don't like any of this stuff. Disenchants. Die carry-all. Okay, so I will go with that for now, I think, and then switch to Louis-7. And hello, Nico and Ken. You're another Anor refugee here. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people went to Landroval. I wasn't really aware of so many people going to Landroval, but talked to some people from other kins, and a lot of them said Landroval. I know there and back again, one of the more populated kins, we'll say, from Anor is on Landroval now. I think they even have in their kin name like there and back again on Anor, or of Anor, from Anor, something like that. And yeah, that was basically the same with me. Kinship moved to Landroval, so I moved with them. So Godfrey, the reason I personally left Arkenstone is just because my kin from Anor went to Landroval, and since I used to play on Arkenstone and had characters there, even did Gundabad on Arkenstone and all the new content, I decided to transfer a couple characters at least from Arkenstone to Landroval. Okay, so we do have legendary item stuff. Okay, that's all going to Louis-1. I don't want to spend the whole stream sorting through my inventory, but it'll probably be a decent chunk at this beginning here if y'all cannot tell. But yeah, basically, in short, I do plan to do other stuff eventually. More essence boxes. Maybe I should send those over. Okay, those are bound, I assume. We already got that. Okay, this character doesn't have much legendary item stuff, but he has some. Still something that can clear my inventory, even if it's 3 slots in the inventory, it's 3 slots cleaner. So I will take that. And then for tailoring, that's what I want to do on this character. So I want to funnel all the tailoring related stuff, probably including my prospector stuff, so I can get that up. It would be really nice to get the master tier for prospector, but that's something that can wait. But that's another thing I should keep in mind. Anything tailor related should go to Louis-7. Nico, I will probably not be doing PvP today. I don't even know if it's active on Landroval, to be honest. Okay, so those were a few characters that I went through, which means Louis is cleaner. He's the one that I want to work on first. So we'll go to Louis-1, the lore master. This was the original Anor lore master. His name was Louis. Because I actually started on Anor primarily playing the lore master rather than Runekeeper or Warden, which I'd consider 2 of my more main characters and classes. You do not need 2 accounts to have characters on different servers, so yeah, you can have characters on any server. You can play on multiple servers with 1 account. That is what I did. Alright, so good news with this character is his inventory is relatively clean. That's one of the reasons I chose him, but he also already has legendary item stuff. He was the reward track claimer on Anor for me, so he has a lot of that stuff. As far as his vault goes, that's something we'll have to look at.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something? How can I be of service?
I feel like it's nap time or something because all I want to do is yawn right now. Not because it's oh yeah, he is full vault and reputation stuff and cosmetics. Oh no. Brushed leather boot. Why do I have that? I think a lot of this stuff is actually safe to delete because you get it on like all your characters and the such. So I will go ahead and delete a lot of this stuff. I know it seems weird, but Definitely wouldn't have gotten that type of stuff on this character. But any of the stuff that you get on like only one character, definitely worth saving. Like not only get on one character, but I mean stuff that this character specifically acquired and you don't get on every character. I definitely would save that stuff. Okay, so one of my characters has a die carry-all. I believe it's Louisden. So hopefully I'm remembering which one correctly. For now, he will take all my dies. Okay, so that did free up a little bit of the vault space for this character. I can just start putting more stuff in here. Oh, I did get the dancing hobbit. I didn't even realize that. I think that's an emote. Like the emotes and such you get from the reward track are only on one character, if I remember correctly, which kind of sucks. Especially for things like mounts and cosmetic pets, if that is the case. But as far as I remember, it is the case anyway. So yeah. I'll have to make sure that is right, but that is one disappointing thing about the reward track. I have a cat sniffing me. Oh, it is Piper. She doesn't know what to do when I'm standing, I guess. Just bumping into my butt where you all cannot quite see. See, I promise there's a cat there. There. I don't know if she'll like that though. Nope. I also have a bunch of bug bites, so they're itching me now. But anyway, we can get back to sorting inventory, going through vault. I don't know, I'll just put more of this stuff in. About these brown boxes. Okay, so does he have any crafting stuff while I'm on him? Can't quite go through too many things at once, but it would be nice to try to start going through something other than legendary item stuff for, oh, 3 more things. For the virtue XP token things, bottles, potions, whatever you want to call them, I can send those to my runekeeper or my warden. And then I found another die. Oh, I found another virtue XP. There we go. A little black ice. So I believe my warden, Louis, is pretty set up on woodworking, foresting and woodworking, so I don't think I have too much to do with like crafting specifically on him besides like getting... I think I still need some guild crafting up on him and some other things. But what I think I will do next is a sweep of crafting. I personally did not max the reward track before the transfer, but I made sure I claimed all the rewards before I transferred, or really before the season ended. I didn't get any progress in the new season before transferring. So yeah, Louisden probably has crafting stuff for me. Hello, Gummies. It's really hard to see the pictures on, like the profile pictures on the YouTube chat for me. I don't know if it is for you all, but that looks like a LOTRO character. One thing I'm excited to say, and at this point I feel fairly safe saying, is have not had issues with internet. I am streaming in... Last time I had to drop down to 4.5 megabits per second, and I still had issues being on that low quality, and that was at 1080p. Now I am back to 1440p. Maybe I should double check that I actually am on 1440p, but should be able to watch in 1440p and... yeah, 1440p and much higher bitrate than before. So we're back up to 16 megabits per second. I was a little bit lower than what I was doing before the move, but I think I was up to like 22 before the move. But it's much better than 4.5. And for the big bag, you can go to the top left of your inventory. There's the little cogwheel for edit mode, and you can drag them in little individual inventory slots into a single bag to get one nice big bag. Have all your stuff in one place. Okay, so die is going to die carry, all good. This is my Warden, don't want to muster at Noblegate. And despite him being a Gundabad tailor and having all the recipes and the such, I actually want to make my Runekeeper my main tailor. So that's going to be a little bit costly, but that's the way it is. I don't know if Louisden will ever be used in the future. He might just be like a token level 140 Warden on my account. Yeah, so one of the developers, actually a new developer, I believe, brought up Wardens on... we want Louis-7 for this. On the LOTRO forums, and basically a feedback thread, I saw some suggestions there that would be really scary, so I really hope some of those are not implemented. Seem to be more of a minority type thing though, which is probably good. Like some people talking about totally removing the gambit system. I even saw some things about, I don't even remember specifics anymore, but just some other things that would be really concerning type changes. I did see some things about people suggesting they basically not get rid of the damage over time element, but convert a lot of Warden damage to burst and adding more burst options to them. To me, that would actually be unexciting because that'd make them more similar to other classes, and I personally prefer variety. I know that there's concern with Warden, like not being able to do burst damage with your damage over time. If her reflect comes up, you basically instant kill yourself. Hard to prioritize ads and getting bursting down ads as a Warden, but I think that is a fine weakness of the class as long as they are strong in other points like damage over time, AoE damage over time for that matter, like in comparison to champion, more AoE damage over time rather than whatever. Yeah, burst AoE damage. Okay, so quick scan through this. Oh, here are some. Anything leather hide related needs to go to my Runekeeper. And then anything ore related, or ingots, armor smith, metalsmith related should actually be going to my Guardian. So maybe I should do that as well. That would actually clean out a lot of Louisden's inventory. So I will do that. We'll send to, I believe that's Lucy-1. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do with that Guardian. Might use one of my 120 boosts on her though. Maybe even the 130 boost. I really do like Guardian. Even if it is playing the red line, I just like them. Kind of like Minstrel. I prefer playing in red line, just DPS on them, but I find them fun doing that. It's not the best spec for them. Eventually I'll sort this stuff out, but she will carry anything that's metal related. Don't need jeweler stuff though. Zircon shard. Oh, that's like these shards. Okay. Rare crafting stuff? I don't know. Maybe Louisden can keep those. Okay, this character has a crafting carryall that I believe is fairly full, so this is going to give me some stuff to send. Yeah, all the stuff I don't know if you can, yeah, it looks like you have to take it out. This is going to take a minute, but take it out of your carry-all and then you can send it. Gundabad bark. Okay, that's Forester Tailor everything. Universal solvent, maybe I can go ahead and send that to my runekeeper as well. If he's going to become my primary crafter. Meliadriel. Meliadriel. I don't know where they are. Are they that one? Nope. Somebody gave me a curtsy. A polite curtsy. If y'all cannot read the chat right below my head and the shared storage, somebody just emoted at me. Scholar. Universal optional crafting ingredient. Might as well keep those organized on a single character. Hear a dog barking. For some reason, the dogs in this apartment complex have been barking a lot the past 2 days. This is going to Louis 7. Can't believe I actually got a character named Louis 7. I thought about making that my main character, but then I figured it'd be easier if my main character was like just Louis and didn't have to worry about the -7 at the end. But one of my main characters is the Louis 7 one. He's my main crafter after all. My main explorer. He is a runekeeper. I like playing runekeepers, especially higher level ones. I really should make a scholar. Maybe that can be, I'm planning on, maybe, ooh, my minstrel, maybe he should be a scholar instead of an explorer. Doesn't make sense for that character to be a scholar. That's actually something I have to think about. It almost seems like it's fitting for him, but it seems weird for a minstrel to be a scholar to me. Like, I feel like hunters or lore masters are the best scholars. I don't know why, though. That's just like my initial thought when I think of scholar. I think of hunter and lore master. Let's see. Oh yeah, Dan's Adventures. Once again, that's twice now that I forgot to message you, but I'm really just organizing my stuff, not really doing much. Yeah, I could just send all my stuff to you. That would probably be easier. It's actually less so that I need stuff from a scholar. I want to get rid of my scholar materials. Okay. Oh, I can take that out. I forgot I have a metalsmith I need to send stuff to. Oh, there's actually more hides. I just saw that I forgot to send the rest. How long do I plan to stream? That is a good question, because I have no idea how long, to be honest. And hopefully the audio's okay. I'm just like, I saw the audio meter going on OBS and it just reminded me, because I am still getting used to the positioning with this, and I used to judge where I put my microphone based on where I was sitting, not standing, and where I was relative to the camera, or where the microphone was in the camera frame. So I used to have it like just at the bottom there, but I think now the camera is actually pointed down even more somehow, because my monitor is higher up. Even though there's like no shelf there right above the monitor, it's now closer to the monitor, but everything is like higher up. So I'm not 100% used to that. And no, not 24 hours. I already need a nap. Audio seems good. That's good to know. Okay. What am I looking at? My shared storage here? I'm just going to double check. We can actually search for like flax fiber, hide, leather. branch or ingot. Oh, here's some ingots. Those can go to my metalsmith. I still wouldn't mind doing a scholar though. Like even outside of needing stuff, maybe it could be fun to do a scholar just to have one and go through that. There's some element of crafting I still like in LOTRO. Even if I'm not a fan of high level crafting. Especially guild crafting, that's what I particularly tend to dislike. And the lack of recipes at higher levels. Lack of stuff to craft. Oh, this thing. Can't forget the apprentice metalsmith stuff. Alright, so that is one whole other character cleaned out. Sort of. Oh, I have this stuff. I also should look at my vault. I think this character, one of my characters had a bunch of crafting stuff in their vault. Yes, this character did. Okay, so that's metalsmith. This will be... Oh, these fibers are apparently going in my carryall. That makes sense. Okay. So I'm just going to have to withdraw those twice, essentially. Okay, I think after this, I will finally be done with this character, since I forgot once again about my... my vault this time. Okay, there we go. It'd be nice if I had a cat cam to go to while we're just like waiting for the logout to complete. Found out what I've been stepping on. Rubber band. That is because my storage bin with that stuff got a little bit knocked over. Okay, so that was one. We now have... Well, Louis-7 he has to do crafting. Oh, this is going to be scary. I just sent a whole bunch of stuff to this character. You know, I could probably spend over 24 hours straight just like organizing my stuff. I think it would be entirely possible to do a 24-hour stream with just getting all this stuff sorted. I was kind of hoping to do 2 main parts, and maybe I'll go like integrate this organization stuff through multiple streams, but do it in, yeah, just like 2 parts as far as streams go, focused more so on it. Okay, so we're going to send to Louis just a couple things that I see. I really enjoyed Gundabad questing, so I'm actually looking forward to doing that on Louis, I will say. Oh, I could have used a crafting carryall on this character. I have tons of them. He should... Oh, I have a crafting carryall on this character. Okay, then. It just doesn't have all the stuff that I'm trying to acquire. So he has... Oh, he has things like black ash wood. He has a lot of wood, which could go to my woodworker. Problem is... Okay, I can actually send stuff to my woodworker, who is Louis, regular Louis. And he can use stuff like Thornholt wood. We'll do, yeah, Gorgoroth branches. Why not? Gorgoroth wood. Even poplar, I should be able to send that type of stuff to him. I don't know. I'll go with this for now. I'll just free up a couple spaces. And with those spaces, I can go back to the carry-all and get... don't need that rune carve tablet there. And then maybe that'll let me get most of this stuff. Not quite. And then I need a character. Maybe I could even use my minstrel as somebody to just store my... Yeah, I don't know why I did this, but I could maybe use my minstrel as somebody to store scholar stuff on, even if temporary, at least for now. Ooh, and I have a whole bunch of stuff that could go to my metalsmith. Okay, so what I really need to do with this character is stop filling my inventory with useless stuff. And this is going to be a slow process, but we will get through it. I'll try to go quick. Okay, now I have 2 spaces in my vault. And I will... Oh, I can actually destroy that. Okay, that looks pretty good, and I can do maybe... chest, I don't know, chest 4, 3, and I can put stuff in here. Do I need loot boxes? I can always get those. I don't need those ones. And maybe this character specific stuff can go in here. Something like light weapon or some gear. I can go through that later. This is bound to account. Oh, those are Word of Craft Tracery selection box for level 130. They're bound to account though. So that's actually stuff that can go to Louis 1. Okay, that's some progress. There we go. I can now, I'll go ahead and detach these. And what I really wanted was to start taking stuff out of my vault. And I don't want it going into my crafting carry-all, so let's just make double sure that that is full real quick. And I should take a look at chat. I've been going on this a long time. So hello, Augie, and Godfrey, you are wondering if there's a profession that can make Word of Craft traceries. There used to not be able to craft Word of Craft traceries, or any traceries for that matter, but in the reward track there are now going to be recipes somewhere in here for crafting traceries. I think Incomparable Coffer of Craft contains a shattered tracery token in a Word of Craft recipe selection box. And I think you can actually crit those recipes to make gold traceries, if I remember correctly. So there's some exciting stuff for crafting traceries, I suppose, in this reward track, if that is exciting to you, that is. Okay, so let's go get rid of all of these ingots. I wouldn't mind keeping some that are Eastham net tier and above, so I can craft, like, say, medium grade and high grade even on this character to get the crafting XP. But all the low level stuff I can easily get rid of and just send that to my storage character, which is the Lucy one. There's probably other stuff in my inventory. Yeah, here's a bunch of ore related stuff. I think rich coal and regular coal I don't need anymore. Anything that is below Eastham net. So Earlingus. Earlingus would be after Eastham net. So I want to save that for this character. Rittermark I might as well go ahead and save as well, but anything lower than Rittermark, which I don't believe I really have. And then Kazad iron ore. Earlingus garn, that'll be useful. Iron Volts, Garn, all that stuff will be useful for this character. Kalinar don't need. Rittermark, if it's bits of pure Rittermark, I might get more of those, but might as well send them off for now. And then we have some more of the low level stuff over here. Okay, next up is Paltrax. You recently reached Rohan. Hope you enjoy Rohan. Sounds like Cow God is enjoying it. Took them about 2 months. I'll try to refrain too much from my opinion on Rohan. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Finally got it. Alright, I don't know. I could say that's good for now, but I should just go ahead and do everything while I'm here. It's not like I got much else to really do sorting things. Okay, all these higher level ones I want to keep on this character for crafting specifically. For getting my crafting up. So where are we sending this to? All the gifts and fancy boxes I have, yeah, those are just from expansions over time. And I think some other gift-related things playing so many years. A lot of these are from collector's editions and Ultimate Fan Bundle type stuff that mostly have cosmetics. That's really... the ones that I still have in the inventory would be cosmetics at this point. Oh, is that you, Bella, that was waving at me? The name I have trouble pronouncing, Meliadriel. I like the name, though. And then Crystals of Remembrance, I think, yeah, those are just break-into scripts. As far as I know, they don't provide anything nowadays. And then, oh, you are wondering about recent thoughts on leveling a Captain. To me, Captain is the slowest class to level solo because they have a slower playstyle, like their abilities are slower, animations are slower, and they're almost like the old champion where they still have, I think, a little bit of delay between abilities. I have not tested that very recently, though. Could be somewhat updated since then. Actually, I think this character is set on most things. We can still send to regular Louis. Okay, not seeing anything there. And then crafting carry-all, see if I have any... yeah, I still have wood boards here that I don't need. Wow, 425 log of Mordor snag, that'll be helpful. I think that actually will be really helpful to my forester slash woodworker, Louis, my warden. Have to get used to which character is which still. Just because I changed quite a bit of stuff when changing servers. It's sad to see Anor get shut down, but it's kind of exciting starting fresh, so to speak, on a new server and getting the character set up. Have basically a fairly rare opportunity to like re-envision all my characters and how they fit in. Like, for example, changing my Warden to be just like Louis. Why can't I send that? Because I am broke. Okay, this character needs some gold, please. Double check that I don't have anything like one of those massive piles of silver scraps or whatever. I don't see any. Those are often cluttering up my character's inventories, but don't have any on this particular one, so I will have to wait to send that. Because I have 4 silver right now. But yeah, that said, with the slower pace with Captain, it's not necessarily a bad thing for everybody. It's just slower. They do relatively low damage, which makes sense when you think about their main role being like buffing, at least in the DPS perspective, buffing other people's damage rather than dealing all the damage themselves. So they're naturally going to be slower. while leveling. It's kind of like playing a Yellow Line Lore Master, a Yellow Line Burglar, because a lot of their values built into their support. They do less damage, so especially when leveling, it can feel slower. In comparison, though, to the Burglar and Lore Master, the Burglar and Lore Master both have a DPS spec, whereas the Captain's DPS spec is support even. I don't know about Hidden Horde. I actually still have not run that since I started my break from Gundabad before that came out. Same with the 6-man. I've heard tier 1's like relatively easy, kind of in the newer style that they've done. Relatively, at least. And I have no idea what character to go to next. All I'm thinking about is really my Minstrel. I don't know why, but maybe it's a sign I should play him next instead of my Runekeeper, my Warden, whoever. I'm used to Louis being a Runekeeper rather than a Warden. Because Louis 7 used to be just Louis. Alright, maybe it's time to go on regular Louis. For some reason, streaming really doesn't make it feel like I've been standing for like 80 minutes. I've actually been standing a little bit longer because as I was getting this stream set up, I was standing. Don't know where the cats are. They're not too active right now. This is actually usually nap time for the cats anyway. They sleep during the day. Most active evenings and mornings. And then they have like a little period around lunchtime. But afternoon, that's like afternoon nap time. I also have no idea in the middle of the night how much they sleep. Oh, y'all get to see some. I was going to try to crop that to be the same. Y'all get to see my ugly kitchen behind me, but I disconnected from the internet completely. LOTRO is not working. I can switch back to the LOTRO scene, but this is all it is. So yeah, here's the wide shot. It's something that's really weird to me. For some reason with the angle, I don't remember y'all seeing like my desk as much before. Maybe you did, but I don't know. I feel like just getting used to the new setup is getting me all funky with the camera angles and the such. In the future, I might actually consider not even pointing the camera this way and pointing it the other way. So it's facing towards that, but right now I have a storage shelf that's just a mess. Hello, Ivan. Things are going well besides my internet just disconnecting. There's a cat. Oh, by habit, I was scrolling down to connect to Anor. There's a cat. Oh, she made the jump all the way up here. That would be about, depending how accurate this is, I'd be a bit over 3.5 feet. We'll be optimistic and say almost 4 feet. She has food. So I forgot what I was even doing. We'll just go back to Louis. Good old dry mouth kicking in. It was not just a relocation of filming and streaming area. I moved to a whole different city and different state. Knight Tailoring, you're on Landroval. A lot of people seem to be on Landroval. It's, for some reason, my impression is Landroval was not as populated as it appears to be. Oh yeah, I sent a bunch of like little things just to clear up some space. Oh, too many requests slow down. That sounds about right. Well, this character must have, I was going to say must have room in his carry-all, but he actually has 3 carry-alls, which is crazy. 3 small crafting carry-alls and 1 large crafting carry-all, rather. So he has 4 crafting carry-alls, and he has essence and tracery carry-all, and he has a task item carry-all. So he's carrying all. Yeah, still running out of inventory space. I sort of did graduate, but I'm still in school. And basically, videos and streaming should be the same. I mean, it really has always been, like, just depending how busy I am, how many videos and streams I can make, and I expect that to stay the same. Yeah, I suppose kitchen's not, like, horribly messy or anything. It's just, like, I don't know. I feel like it's not clean. Oh, the sink? Ugh, I'm not a fan of the sink, to be honest, but it might look okay in the video. It's not that great. Yes, I am still in school. I moved from one school to another school. Something interesting with my schedule this semester, at least, though, is I might be able to do Monday morning streams. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow I actually plan to do errands. It's perhaps maybe better than streaming is actually I could do that as my errand time and go like get groceries when it's not as crowded and do Monday morning. Because especially being in a much larger city than I used to be in, it's so crowded, which I'm not the biggest fan of. So Knight of Lorien, you have a character on Arkenstone, also known as where I used to play. Don't know who Belhon the Wise is. Have heard of Bright Life. Bright Life actually contacted me at one point wanting to do some sort of collaboration. That was around the time when I was about to start moving originally way back in June, so I kind of forgot what happened with that. Hopefully I wasn't the one that left the conversation off, but don't know actually. I actually do work as well, but it's at the school, so like the way I consider is my school and work are one and the same, because it really is the case. Landroval is a server. We're moving to the Landroval server as my new home. Landroval is an eagle. One of the eagles. I believe. I hope so, if I remember correctly. At least Landroval is one of the eagles. Okay, so dyes are going to Louisden. We'll do that. Except these crimson dyes, I actually have a use for those that I'm not going to get much use out of, but I have an actual use for those. So let me do that first while I'm thinking about it. We'll go to my wardrobe, which is 98 out of 40. We're going to find the ugly stuff that's yellow quality. We're going to dye it all crimson, and you all will see why eventually. I am so excited for this. Just make sure I don't already have it dyed crimson. Okay. And Yeah, there's the crimson dye, just so I make sure I use that. I'll do the hood, even though I don't plan to use that too much. We'll do the shoulders, the bracers. That object cannot be dyed. Oh well, I'm probably not ever going to use that anyway. I'm actually probably just going to use the old tunic and waistcoat. I think that's the only item in that set that I'm actually going to use. But yeah, Anor is getting shut down in 3 days, August 31st. Don't know when. Probably they'll do like a 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. maintenance. Which, if they do, I might actually be able to stream that. I'm really hoping to be there for the closing of Anor. I don't know how they did it with Ithil. If I remembered how they did it with Ithil, I could probably know better how it's going to go with Anor, but my guess is when they just do the maintenance, Anor will not come back up. Whether it's maintenance or patch or whatever, but downtime. Oh, hey, YouTube is telling me to insert ads. YouTube's kind of annoying. I mean, perhaps this is obvious, but they're very money driven. They like want me to, oops, I accidentally just clicked that. I actually really do apologize. I was just hovering over the button. But yes, YouTube, it's kind of annoying because a lot of their stuff about like channel metrics have shifted from like views, watch duration, engagement. It's shifted from that type of stuff into money and revenue, and it's more about just like how much money you're making rather than how your channel's actually doing. And now they keep like popping up for me to insert ads so they can make more money. Because if y'all don't know, the split, like for streaming on YouTube, I think it's not as bad as Twitch or even other platforms, but like I don't get all the money from the ads and whatever. And anybody who saw an ad, I don't know if it just gives an ad to everybody, but that really was an accidental click. Maybe I should start doing that though. Like maybe if I actually do an AFK, I can do that as like a real thing though. That might be a strategy. Anyway, yeah, that was an experiment, we'll say. We'll go to send Louis in some dyes. Wait. Oh, the Zocker, you had an ad? I hope it was a good one. If you have a YouTube Premium, you should not get an advertisement, though. One thing about YouTube Premium, for people that don't know, it's actually really helpful for channels. See, now I'm totally distracted again. That's the problem with sorting stuff. I very easily get distracted. Oh yeah, so I was doing, y'all want to see the outfit? It's going to look ugly on this character. We cannot do that on this character. Let's get the real character. Yeah, YouTube Premium's nice. I have had the student version. I actually let it lapse. I might look into that again. That'll mean student version, like it's a different version, but the student discount one. Yes, I am on Landroval right now. Landroval's now 22 out of 20 characters for me. I have a placeholder character for name. I have just a bunch of random characters that were already here on Landroval, and then mostly Anor characters and a couple Arkenstone characters. Arkenstone characters actually cost me in total like 5,000 LOTRO points, so that's why I'm not transferring all of them. I'm getting hiccups. Okay, so we are going to go to my Brawling. Haven't been on him yet. For some reason, I feel the need to tiptoe. Yeah, the nice thing about YouTube is that you can just watch it free. You don't have to pay. That's like compared to even things like Netflix, Hulu, all those other things. Yeah, you don't have to pay. I guess you have to pay for internet, but I don't know. If I get into that, basically my thoughts are, well, kind of lean towards internet at this point should be a utility. But yeah. Oh man, I have Kaz Cookball on my friends list. I don't know if anybody remembers him. I'm surprised he got to level 125. I don't know he's played recently enough to be that high level. Yes, I used a lot of these characters have been Valored at some point. I still have 2 level 120 Valors and a level 130 Valor from a lot of the more recent giveaways they've done. Okay, so this character is the reason I really wanted to get those crimson dyes. And if I find the wardrobe, let's see, I believe she has a wardrobe
Could you help me with something?
hidden in this quest somewhere. We can find, we'll just do color crimson, find everything that's crimson. And I'll set it to outfit 8. Oh, that was not it actually. There was something else that was much better. That's a little disappointing, to be honest. Yeah, it was this one. I don't have that, it's Linghar's. It was actually something totally different. I was so excited. It was this outfit dyed crimson. Not the one that I had right there. So if I do this one crimson, I really want that. But I have to find the actual armor somewhere. And I don't know what. I might just have to remake a Warning for it, to be honest. That might be what it comes down to. Chopper and probably not going to be doing any PvMP streams soon, but maybe in the future. I don't want to rule it out in the future. Okay, so what I just dyed crimson was this one, which isn't horrible, but it's not like... Oops. Wait, where did the boots go? There should be boots somewhere. Did I just not dye those? I hope I got those in my... Yeah, here they are, dirtied work boots. Those probably aren't them anyway, but... Yeah, this is kind of the idea of the outfit, but it was the other piece. It was not this one. Oh well. We'll use this one as a fake temporary one. I don't know on Landroval if people PvMP much. I think the best server for that would be Arkenstone or maybe Evernight even. So this character has a lot of Matham Hunter's armor. Wow. I don't think that's any good nowadays. Maybe at low levels you can occasionally find like a good piece. I think the helmet at some points has decent itemization. It seems like the chest piece, no, not too much. Yeah, the helmet has decent DPS itemization, but it's just really bad in low item level, at least at higher levels. So he doesn't need that. That can go to, I think I was sending that to my rune keeper, my lore master rather, Lilui 1. And we'll just send him all my Matham Hunter's armor. I have no idea what these boxes are. These are probably legendary item stuff. Do I have this guy's LI set up? I have them somewhat set up. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably save those then. Just while I'm on this character, I might as well clean him out. We'll go to regular Louis, send him some Virtue XP stuff. Okay. Best two-handed class. Champion, Guardian. I'm about to just spew off every class that can use two-handed weapons, but yeah, Champion, Guardian, Captain. Warning. Depending on your interest. Matham Light Shoulders, if I remember correctly, I kind of like the whole Matham set even, so I might use that as a cosmetic. And yes, Warden is pretty good right now. I believe even their DPS is at least better than it used to be. And their tanking is pretty decent and their healing's really good. In general, nowadays, yes, champions would use two-handed weapons over dual wield largely just because of the new LI system. Don't know if y'all heard, there are really screechy tires out there. Who am I getting on? Okay, regular Louis. The Zocker, thank you for joining the stream. Glad you were able to join at least an hour. We've actually been going, or I've been going 100 minutes here, but hope you have a good night and good time at work. Bay warnings are fun in the blue line and the yellow line. That much I can agree on. The red line's a little bit iffy, but it is better at very high levels where you have tons of trait points, but still, it bothers me more than it can be fun. Okay, this character probably has... Oh, he doesn't have a lot of mail. We must have just been on him. Yeah, because I was just... Oh yeah, I was sending stuff. Okay. Let's see how this character's crafting is doing related to guild crafting, maybe? Okay, maybe not. I will switch to... How about Louis 7? We'll go to my Runekeeper. One nice thing about having a scholar that I kind of just randomly thinking of for another crafting character, though, I mentioned that it'd just be kind of nice to have one to use that stuff, but the gathering ability, scholars can actually gather, so it would be nice to have one character at least that can gather the scholar stuff to have a little bit of variety in my gathering. So I am thinking with my minstrel, he would be a pretty good character, I think, for that. Any upcoming class changes? I don't know of any that are very imminent. It sounds like they are interested in making some class changes. New developer and Orion both made threads related to Hunter, Warden, and Captain, I think. I don't know if there have been any more since then, but looking for feedback to potentially change the class and even more. The indication was potential more revamp style changes even in the distant future. So that could be interesting. As far as smaller scale changes, I'm sure there's going to be some in the updates. Maybe update 34. It'll be interesting to see if update 34 with the mini expansion will have any rebalancing with some of the low level stuff. Oh boy, that's a full inventory. Oh yeah, I never did send... This character needed gold. I totally forgot about that. Okay. Let's try this again. I feel like I should try another character. We can go to my Guardian. I just have to remember to send Louis 7 some gold. Hopefully my Guardian actually has some. Yeah, for Bayorning Blue Line's the most fun to me. It is my favorite spec to play. And yeah, that'll be neat with the races having more class options. For me personally, the most exciting would be actually the Dwarf Warden. Hobbit ones don't really interest me all that much. The weirdest one is not like Hobbit Lore Master or Hobbit Champion to me. It's actually Race of Man Human Runekeeper. That one's a little bit odd. Oh, we need a dash there. And I'll just send him, how about 30 gold? And some tailor stuff. Except he is my tailor, okay, so that works. This character is fairly well organized with the inventory, though, I will say. I have a lot of metalsmithing stuff, which makes sense. I can eventually get this character a carry-all. Maybe a couple small carry-alls, even. Yeah, I'll have a bunch of stuff flooding in the inventory here, and... I should probably... Yeah, I'll send something to either Louis. There, sort. And then I will get VIP rewards.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something? Greetings, friend.
And check my vault. Okay, so my vault is fairly full. It has some crafting stuff, but a lot of it is cosmetic, and I can just add more space. That'll take care of that. And I can put some more crafting stuff that I maybe don't imminently need. Like more process stuff in here. And that way I know I have storage of this stuff on one character at least. I can put all my crit ingredients in there, why not? And I think, yeah, that one will fill my inventory, but just put all this stuff in here. Yeah, it is nice that Standing Stone Games is seeming to care about LOTRO. Of course, as the developers, they should at least. Follow WOTC. Oh, what is that? Wizards of the Coast? Maybe? Is that even a thing? Is that like Forgotten Realms or something? But anyway, he said, hope they don't follow that in Amazon. Yeah, they've done a lot of recently more experimentation. Of course, they finished like the regular epics, the books. So they have to do something after that. I have found it to be pretty good and grounded, but it does seem like they're extending out a little bit compared to how it used to be. Oh, Neverwinter, okay. Yeah, Neverwinter Wizards of the Coast, I remember that now. I kind of sort of liked Neverwinter at first, but wasn't too big into it and didn't really stick. That's for sure. Could have just clicked the X on all those. Okay, so this character is fairly decent. They're talking, somebody in the kin was having lag and they were on what seems to be infamous Landroval server 33. Also, Arkenstone is full with PvMP right now. That's neat. Okay, so this character, just as a little reminder to myself, I could definitely do some crafting on this character. I have a lot to go. That's a lot of crafting XP. I might have some crafting XP boost in my shared storage. Perhaps this could be a good character to use that on. I'd have to craft a ton of stuff to get this prospector up to mastery. I think the regular non-prospector part would be a lot easier, and one concern is actually I think a lot of the crafting XP boosts don't actually affect the gathering ones, but maybe these ones do. Maybe it's like the crit chance ones. Let's see, if I just search craft, we have rapid crafting, we have craft acceleration. This is 100% XP boost, but it's only cook jeweler, like it's none of the gathering ones. This one's same, none of the gathering ones. This one's 50%, but once again, none of the gathering ones. Some rapid crafting. Minor crafting guild token of steam. That would be useful for my runekeeper who I plan to go through the guild crafting on. Or crafting XP boosts. None of this stuff wants to stack. Okay. Oh no, try to get my crafting stuff, like my crafting boost items, in one spot. There we go. Brawler. As far as I know, they're pretty decent off tanks nowadays. I'm a little bit less sure on DPS, but they do have a lot of support going with them. Which I don't know what people regularly use with the Gundabad raid, but I could definitely see people taking a Brawler for their support and their buffs. I really haven't played a Brawler recently enough to have any like relative idea of their damage though. If you're on Anor and you have characters there and don't move, then eventually you will lose them, but you will be able to transfer them, I think, until the end of the year. So if you transfer them before the end of the year, even after the server shuts down, you should be fine. Just make sure you get them transferred some point this year. You won't be able to play them after the shutdown at the end of the month. Okay, just sending more stuff to my Runekeeper that I saw. Cannot mail that, that must be bound. That's how they get you, they just bind all that stuff, and then this is like level specific, so I can't do much of anything with it other than open it. So, trying to think what's next. I think it's time to actually do something in game. Perhaps I could do a little bit of Gundabad questing on my Warden. Or I can do less combat oriented, but do the Louis army. But that would probably be fairly boring. There's a cat right there on the tree, right behind me. Y'all want to see combat? Okay. War, death, and orcs. Can hopefully find that somewhere in Middle Earth. There should be orcs, I think. I don't think we got rid of all the orcs yet. At least not while I was here. I think it's time to sit down. I've been standing too long. We'll see how this transition works. Oh, a cat can get on the desk now. She could have gotten on it before. They can jump that high and jump that far, but man, once I sat down, she was up here. Just a little break. There she is, making my character jump. It is a cat stream now. At least she's playing the game this time. And moving my microphone all around. Someone, I don't know if you're actually talking to me or my cat, but glad you think we have a cool voice. Okay, so for combat, this character I think is pretty set up to do Gundabad. Actually, I take that back. There's one more thing I need to do before I, like, preferably before I go through Gundabad content, which is finding the... Yeah, I've sometimes done festival stuff, as y'all have seen, but not the biggest into that, and similar with that in Moors and PvMP, not all too interested in that, really. It's possible if people in my kin do it at some point that they could get me into it, but I think just going there solo, not much interest in that. Louis didn't should have this stuff. Getting fur everywhere, making my nose itch. That's about usual for the cats. Yeah, a lot of people like the Winter Festival as their favorite one. I forget there's actually one going on right now, isn't it? The Summer Festival? Or they changed it to Farmer's Fair, I think, because of Midsummer, but... that one's going on right now, and this character's skill bar is all messed up. Oh wait, this is Louisen. I'm not actually playing him, so that's okay. So Louisen has the Fateful Toolkit, which is the one I want for my main character, Louis. So we'll get some dies from Louis and return some. We'll return the Fateful Toolkit, but I actually do have some other stuff to give him as well, such as... what's in my vault? All his Virtue XP things. So I'll just withdraw a bunch of these and get them sent over. You know what, maybe I should actually keep those 1000 Virtue XP just because those ones are worth a lot more. I know it sucks that I'm just putting them right back, but yeah, because they're worth a lot more, maybe those ones are more worth saving, like they're more worth the space and just storing them until a Virtue XP boost. Because with like the little 20 ones, yeah, they do add up and still be better to use them during a 10% or 20% or whatever boost weekend. It's a lot more space to Virtue XP ratio. Or, in other words, a lot lower Virtue XP to space ratio, so it's a lot less value in a way. We'll just go with that for now. Hello, Ben. And MDGC? Don't know on the name, but you said you should already know about the plugin that lets you have all your items in one big bag. That's actually a part of the base game, and you do not need a plugin. You can... there's a little cogwheel at the top left of the inventory, which you can click that and then drag the inventory slots from all your individual bags into one bag, so you can have one big bag or however you want to have it set up. So as an outlook for the stream, I will probably be going, say, roughly an hour. Or we'll see how the questing goes, but getting, I don't know, relatively close to wrap-up point. Don't mind me, just have to blow all the cat fur off the microphone. What other LOTRO videos I want to make? Yes, I have. I'm actually, there's one video that I plan to work on some point this week. And the Yeah, leveling guide. I actually do intend to get back to that at some point. That's the perhaps the biggest project that I'm working on. Okay, so male is, yeah, Louisden, and he has that Fateful Toolkit. That's very useful. Gives me faster chopping, same crit chance, and then increased festival and landscape currency, and all these things that I can just click and free up the space. And I think that's enough inventory space to at least get started with some questing, so we can try to find our way back to Gundabad. That's something I didn't really think about, how I'm going to get back there. Because I don't actually know if I got any of the swift travel, so I might have to go through the missions method. Also, what is going on with those hills out there? Why is my map key not working? Have they actually changed something with the landscape, or why is that looking so weird? Have I just not been to Bree recent enough to actually see hills? I really don't remember there being hills there before. I might have to find like an old just clip of me running through Bree. I want to go exploring real quick before we go to Gundabad. There's also a fairly quick way to Gundabad where I'd actually travel to Galtrav anyway. Because this is Breeland Homestead, so that makes sense. I'm just wondering what, if any, of this is going to be for the new region coming south of Bree, etc. Wow, a lot of lag here. I wonder, maybe that was my cat typing all that stuff, but I wonder if I do /lock. Yeah, I'm on server 34. Supposedly the servers in the 30s are the laggy ones on Landroval. 33 seems to be a particularly laggy one. So what I'm going to try to do, I think I've tried this before, but worth the experiment to get rid of lag. Just log out and log back in. And yeah, a lot of the early instances in the game, it's really hard to find a group for them. And unlike some newer instances in the high level ones, they don't have solo/duo versions. Well, I always prefer the group versions. Having that option is definitely nice, and just for even questing, get the story or whatever. And now my cat shirt is full of cat fur, so I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Oh. I thought I muted myself. Y'all heard me blowing all that cat fur away. Oh well. I think it didn't mute me because it came up with the thing where like LOTRO stops responding, so if it's not, if like that window's up, the asterisk key does nothing and doesn't mute. And yes, Gundabad does sound like good and bad. Gundabad, Gundabad. I thought it was pretty good though, overall. So who am I getting on? Oh yeah, Livy. Took a lot of time, but we'll see if this does any help with lag on Landroval. Trying to think what I want for dinner. Okay, so yeah, what I was checking is these mountains, hills just seem taller than before. Yeah, I tend to prefer food. Ivan, I will agree, that does sound pretty good for dinner, some food. I'm sure a whole bunch of people have tried. I don't know a whole bunch, but I'm sure people have tried to jump out of this area. I don't intend to try to jump out, but if I just happen to jump in a way that gets me out, and that's all the benefit. I'm more so just jumping around. But yes, this instantly reminds me of trying to get to Yondershire, and successfully in some cases, so that's what I'm more so reminded of, these successes. Yeah, I really just don't remember this quite looking exactly like this. I don't remember those ruins being right there, but maybe they were. I don't know. This looks, I mean, I don't know, this looks fairly normal. Yeah, I think that camp up there has always been there. That's why I'm sort of thinking it's not new, but there was something I was seeing that felt different from Bree. I almost forget where it was at this point. I just don't remember seeing whatever hills / mountains I was seeing from Bree all the way here before, but maybe it was always like that. But yeah, because the new zone coming this way and everything, and how you can see landscape changes before not before they're into the game, obviously, but before they are intended to be released. I thought it'd be interesting to have a little look up here. Oh, somebody's actually leveling. Hopefully I don't interrupt their leveling here. I can't tell if this is any different either. I don't think I've looked beyond this gate like in this much detail before, but that looks oddly finished. That much I can say, it looks oddly finished, but maybe it's always been that oddly finished. Let's see if I can get a little different angle from here. I think that's about as good of an angle as we'll get from that view. But yeah, that's where the next zone will be. That's where the mini expansion will be. So I thought I'd just see what we could see from there. Glad you do appreciate the content and being able to watch with your kids around home. I do try to be family friendly. But yeah, everything else looks pretty much the same to me. I don't know if there'd be anything interesting to look at, but yeah, that would be Cardolan. Cardolan's going to go... It's really hard to tell with these maps. Maybe collections map is almost easier. Not really. Okay, Cardolan is going to go... We're at the South Road here, Southern Breeland. It's just going to continue down that. Eventually Swanfleet will take over at some point. I don't know exactly where, but Swanfleet will take over. Cardolan will go up to the Old Forest, and there's a 2 Shire somewhere around here. I am not from England. That'd be surprising if I sound like I am. Although I've had some people say I look British. Not that I necessarily sound like it, but I have had that before. This is all just Barrow Downs. So I don't expect too much to be interesting here. At some point you can just jump up. It's not like it's unintended for you to be able to jump up. But thought I'd just see if there's anything interesting from the Barrow Downs perspective. Random tomb there? It's not all that random. It's connected to the Barrow Downs system. Could be related to Nerd of the Rings, but not that I am aware of. I wonder if they'll do anything with Barrow Downs and have like a southern Barrow Downs. Probably not, but interesting to think about maybe. It's a pretty encapsulated area, so I don't really see how or why they'd expand it, but it would be interesting if they did try to add something that extended from it. Yeah, I'm guessing this is fully blocked off. Anyway, don't see anything from here, but while we were here, I thought I could check. And since I need to go back to Galtrav anyway, that is where I shall head. So, Nails in Nature, you're from Brazil, but my voice sounds British to you. That is interesting. I don't think I sound British.
You are welcome here, as long as you do not trouble us.
Oh, it's cat fur. Where are we going? Gundabad? Alright. I don't have this. I could always spend a mithril coin. Actually, I have 563 mithril coins now, but there's a lot easier travel to Gundabad. Just go to the missions, and you can just walk out of the missions room. Oh yeah, I didn't even look at the whole reason of relogging. I didn't look at which server I was on. I think in Gundabad you're always on server 33, which is one of the laggy ones, but yeah, it might be based on zone anyway. I can do this Gundabad stuff out of order. I think that's kind of how I initially did it. Might as well pick up these quests, I guess. Assuming I have room for it. I can cancel all these old level 130 quests. I don't feel too bad about missing these quests because I did all them before on like my original playthrough War of Three Peaks. Something I was considering with this character is if I actually wanted to do all the Gundabad quests. I know I enjoyed the quest, but it's something I don't have to, like, I guess, strictly adhere myself to. I could focus more on, for example, the book quests. I don't know if that's what I want to do, but for now I'll just go ahead and start with doing most of the zone quests. Yeah, I don't know if Cardolan and Swanfleet, they don't look like mini zones. They actually look to be very large zones. I would say, based on the map, it looks... as far as quest pack and mini expansion goes, size-wise, it looks maybe similar to Update 23, the Dragons update, with Iron Hills and Arid Mithrin, but maybe even larger than that. The two zones look to be pretty large on their own, and there's two of them. I'd say the biggest disappointment with the announcement of the Before the Shadows mini expansion, Before the Shadow, was the level range. Like, it was kind of neat to hear that it'd be a low level zone 1 to 32, but for me personally, I was really hoping the area would be an alternative to Moria. Even though I like Moria nowadays, it just seems so perfect for it to be 50 to 60, or at least a portion of it. Even having it split up, say one part of it's like level 1 to 30 and then another 50 to 60, but I guess it makes sense with the story, how they're doing the story being the kind of before the Fellowship thing, that it's really low level, but yeah, that was probably the one thing that makes me less excited than I might otherwise be for the update. Okay, so where to go? Did I get the stable master? That is important. And then I kind of think I can just run around. I have tons of quests, so I can go in circles around the zone. Sort of what I did on Louisden, if I remember correctly. So we could do that for a little bit, maybe do one rotation and see how things go. Yes, I have tons of mithril coins. That is true. It's been so long since I've had any combat, I forgot how to play. Oh. I also forget how sturdy this character is, and I haven't done Gundabad content on him, which of course is a step up for many of the 130 content. I got him fairly decently geared though for 130. I mean, I have, if you just look at my morale, I have 450k rather. One concern is the lag. Definitely feel a bit of lag, kind of like when Gundabad originally launched. Of course, seems like lag. Oh, so nice being on Anor when there was just being such a low populated server. There was very little lag, and here I'm skipping all over the place right there, having just general slowness. Latency, we can look at that just to confirm. My latency is maybe a little bit high, but it's not like really high. It's under 100 milliseconds. Yeah, I'm still having all this lag and little packet loss, which means it's the LOTRO servers. And I can try that relog. I can try to exit game and come back, because I believe I am on server 33 when I looked. And just another test to see if that's a way to fix it. I don't know if other servers have the same issue as Landroval, but it's something I've only heard with Landroval is servers in the 30s, especially server 33, are like extra laggy. Okay, let's try exiting and re-coming back in the game. Might even be quicker than just locking out a character and logging back in. Don't know where the cat settled off to. Hopefully OBS finds LOTRO again. I'm currently in the game. I don't know. Oh, maybe the old instance didn't actually fully close. There we go. We're back. And yeah, leveling in general with LOTRO is too fast. It'll be interesting to see how not just the experience questing is there and the size of it, but the pacing of the leveling in the new zone. Oh boy, still laggy just getting right in. Yep, so I'm still on server 33. I think it is location based on my experience at least. Every time I've been in Gundabad, it's been server 33. Which really isn't good. Even when I've been on Arkenstone during the really populated period, when I was there briefly, it wasn't quite like this. This is like when Gundabad originally launched and I was playing there, which was on Arkenstone, but I really hope this is not the case all the time on Landroval. That'd be rough. Don't even know what mob I'm hitting. Reduced awareness. For specifics with the quest, I'm actually not too sure what all I need to do. That's why I thought I could just go in the circle, and then any items I come across I can get, and then of course kill all the mobs along the way. I would like to keep track of the book quests, because while I am in general intending to do these zone quests on this character, I should pay attention to my health for one. I do want to keep track of the book quest just to make sure I'm staying on track of things. So we're on 5.3. So he would actually be north of Maregrind, which is... I mean, eventually I will get there. Landroval's been pretty decent until I get into combat in Gundabad. I wonder if I'd go like on my minstrel, for example, in a way that'd be similar to this or not bad. Or actually, a very quick Google search of server 33 is people complaining about Matagard being on server 33. I don't know if it's for every server, but that's just something I know of for Landroval. And yes, they need more hamsters. And they need a happier hamster on server 33. I think I need these stone trolls for something. And then I gotta collect or do something with the broken stone trolls. Clean up. Destroy. It's already broken, but I'm going to destroy it anyway. I believe my dots should eventually take that guy away. I'm actually going... I came from that way, okay. Feels weird actually questing. I didn't mean to use resolution, but that should be okay. It's extra scary pulling this many mobs with the lag that I've been having. I also don't know how I keep doing resolution instead of the other one I'm trying to use, exaltation of battle. I also remember the days when fighting elites was actually a little bit scary, at least. And nowadays it's almost like that's a normal mob. So a trash removal code from Final Fantasy XI. That's interesting. I do not use an MMO mouse, not like one of those ones with lots of buttons. I have 2 buttons on the side. 2 buttons on the side, middle mouse button, of course, scroll wheel, and then left and right button, regular mouse stuff. Okay, so I'm needing to head west preferably, but I am seeing some rings off to the east, but I will just ignore those for now. We'll do regular roundup. Here I'm just hitting the wrong button, so that's why I'm not using a Enduring Strike there rather than lag. But, yep. Roundup, pun intended, by the way. It is the weekend. I actually forget that today's Sunday. I don't know why, it feels like Monday to me. Which it's not, because I didn't go into work, but it feels like Monday to me. Yeah, almost 600 people on. I think overall Matagard might have been my least favorite Gundabad zone. It wasn't bad, but it was just, I think my least favorite. It was a bit, I don't know, a bit messy. I don't think the mobs are my favorite, or the environment's my favorite. It's just like a messy welcome to Gundabad. Oh yeah, if you have to work Sunday, I could definitely see it feeling like Monday. Big overhaul for the game to get ready for the Rings of Power TV series. Not that I am aware of. From the developers, it's more going to be like slower cumulative updates over time. Yeah, you could play it without the UI. I forget in LOTRO if you can still use skills, if you can actually use your keybinds while hiding the UI, and I don't think in this game you can. If I remember correctly, in World of Warcraft you can. Because like right now I'm not using anything. Apparently I built range persevere somehow though. But I was hitting like control 3, control 1, all that sort of stuff. Maybe because I was out of combat. Let's try that again. Okay, now it is actually working. The thing is though, for the, you can't see the cooldowns. That would be the biggest problem. So like I have no idea if I get seize the moment to trigger or anything like that. Like I think I used Surety of Death there, but I did not. I used Warcry because one of like whatever I was trying to build, that one might have been Brink of Victory. Yeah. Because whatever game that I was trying to build, the mastery was on cooldown. For other classes, I could see it being a little bit more possible, but you still have to deal with cooldowns. If you're using something like the Guardian, I'm trying to think, just because with them you're often using Sting, with Lore Master you're often alternating, but it depends on cooldowns, everything being so cooldown based. Another bit of misinformation and more so just rumor spreading was a big graphics overhaul coming from the game, which was never really a thing. Maybe I should have stayed on Anor long enough just to... It would have really not helped with getting my characters transferred over, but stayed on Anor as long as possible just to not deal with as much lag. So something, even on Arkenstone though, I don't remember having this much lag just questing through, besides the first couple days. The first couple days in Gundabad, of course, were like pretty bad with lag, maybe even the first week or so. It's a little bit of a blur at this point, but... Yeah, user interface update. I feel like that's, to me, I would rather see a UI update than a just like regular graphics update. I'm going to test something. Okay, I can kind of put my leg up here. I would have to move the microphone a little bit, which is a bit weird, but we're going to test this. Thing with this chair, I guess I can do it like this, but it's a little bit harder to just lean back. I can, of course, decrease the tension on the back of the chair, but the like leg butt part, rather, the seat doesn't go up when you lean back, which is what I'm used to. Anyway, so if I like lean back like this, it kind of requires me pushing with my legs. It also makes the desk feel very high up. Actually, rather the desk lower if I'm going to go like this. Which I could do. At some point it's going to crush the chair arm rest. I don't know. Something to think about for the future. I'd really like to not die here, so let's take care of my healing. Except there's so much lag, I don't even know if my potion's going to go off. I guess I can't play that risky on this server. Okay, so what do I need here? I still need 4 more edible mushrooms, so I need quite a few different items, and I still need to destroy a few more burrows. Normally, if I'm actually on top of things, I can get all of that stuff while I am, like after I do the big first killing wave, but clearly I'm not on top of things today. I don't think this is a really result of my old server closing down. As far as I know, this is a pretty regular for Landroval from what I've heard. Of course, I have not been on Landroval all that much lately. But in comparison, sorry for the yawn, but in comparison for my... Yeah, compared to the old server, Anor, it's a lot more laggy. That much I will say. And my ping, once again, ping and packet loss are actually better than they used to be even. Could be because I'm closer to these servers, so I have lower ping. But my connection is just as good, if not better, than before, like when I'd play on Anor without lag, but it's more laggy because of the servers. I think I accidentally scratched myself. Not bleeding though, okay. Okay, so Mr. Britt, you're also seeing... Oh, what you're seeing here, you don't see lag like that? Yeah, it's something that I think we were aware of going into moving to Landroval, but it is what the Ken ultimately voted for. And just having more population than Anor, it's going to be laggy. But it's something I have heard, unfortunately, specifically with Landroval having, depending on which Landroval server you are on, basically which zone you are in, can determine how much lag you have, and the one with Madagard at least is quite laggy. I think that's where a lot of people in my kin have been questing as well, like just starting the Gundabad content, so they have been experiencing this lag as well. And it's really troublesome with the Warden because I'm just missing so many gambits. Some of it's because I'm pushing the wrong buttons, but yeah, this is really, I mentioned, I don't know if anybody remembers that experience or watched my content during that experience, but when Gundabad came out and I was playing this on Arkenstone, this is really reminding me of that, where it'd be really skippity. Sometimes it would play fairly smoothly. I think by the second day it was getting better. Maybe this is more like the second day. Ooh, Bella, I think you might be a little bit delayed. I don't know if this is going to be helpful, but I've noticed a couple of your comments seem to be about something maybe a couple minutes in the past. I don't know if you haven't caught up or are a bit behind. Because as far as I know, I haven't gotten really close to dying all that much recently. Yeah, hopefully the other zones are better, and in general, Landroval is better. It's, in my limited experience playing here, it's, yeah, that's the problem with them being behind. Eventually they'll hear it, maybe catch up. But yeah, hopefully with Landroval, it really is just this zone and maybe a somewhat temporary thing, although I'm not sure how temporary, because I've personally heard of this issue for months, maybe even. I don't know. I don't know if it's been like years, an ongoing thing for a long while, but definitely I've heard of it a lot recently-ish, I will say. Perhaps in like the springtime. Yep, if you are not getting close to death, then you are not trying hard enough. In fact, I'd say even if you don't die, you didn't try hard enough. It's nice I'm coming across more quests, so I am keeping up with going to useful areas. Okay, this time I might actually get close to dying from this, especially if I lag before I can get Exaltation of Battle off, but it looks like I got that. One nice thing compared to Luiden going through Gundabad is the heals actually are way stronger than they used to be. They're still not like they were way back in the day, but using the morale taps there, for example, can heal me up a whole lot better than they healed Luiden up when he was going through this. Oh, so much lag right here now. Yeah, blue line's nice to pull a whole bunch of mobs in, see how far you can go. I tend to prefer that in the lower level areas, just because at higher level I kind of do the same, but in yellow line, since you can do all the stuff ranged. Dwarf Made Treasure, turned in for quests. I kind of forget what you turn those in for, but eventually I'll find it again. Yeah, that somebody mentioned user interface, and I was like, yeah, that's one of the biggest things LOTRO could use. User interface overhaul, but a lag overhaul, as in completely eliminate lag. That would be ideal. I forgot my position for the desk is actually higher than I want from what I have it saved, so we're changing positions there. Level squish could be nice in LOTRO. It's an interesting idea, but I could just see so many things going wrong with them trying to do a level squish. Even in World of Warcraft, where I feel like the level squish went relatively smoothly, it caused a lot of issues. And like for the long run of the game was probably better, but I just wouldn't have much faith in that going all that well with LOTRO. I remember they were talking about 64-bit servers for last December, and yet we still don't have those. I don't know if it's something that will help. I don't think it's like just a magical fix, but it's yeah, just an example of something that they comment on that they seem to be a little bit more optimistic on actually getting done quickly than what the reality is. So weird that these trolls aren't signatures. I kind of remember that going through here the first time. It just feels wrong that they're normal instead of signatures. Eventually I'll get a gambit off. Not the gambit I necessarily want, but at least clear me to use a gambit that I want. I might have to actually use resolution here. I should hit a decent bit of them, okay. And yeah, also saying as though what you're saying with LOTRO being more about the journey rather than the destination. A level squish might not actually be the best, and people might dislike it. I personally would be in favor for certain things with a level squish, but they'd really have to do it right. And I don't even think there is one right way or one ideal solution is another problem. Because I think one of the issues right now is out-leveling content. So if you just quest through all the content in order as it was released in the game, you will way out-level it. And maybe if you mix in some of the new low-level stuff as well, you'll just way outpace the content. And it might even be possible to get to the level cap like early into Gundabad or before Gundabad. Of course, when you get like 10 levels above the content, you'll start getting barely any XP, if any. But you'll always maintain being quite a bit above level for the content. I actually don't remember this little path. Oh, it's coming back to me a little bit. I'm like, it seems really memorable with the trolls. But yeah, it's coming back. I just feel like my thoughts are that the trolls should be signatures again. That seems exactly what my mind was on last time through here. One nice thing about a level squish is even if they just squish the level cap and everything is relatively the same as before, so it's like nothing really changes with the level number, it's a less intimidating number for new players. Like seeing the level cap as 140 versus say they just halved everything to 70 for the level cap, it's less intimidating even if it's the exact same content that covers the exact same levels, just half of what they used to be. And basically each level lasts twice as long as before. But I would say that's a pretty lazy level squish and wouldn't fix some of the problems other than just having high numbers. Stat squish could also be nice. I feel like since level 120, they've really gone off the deep end with stat scaling. Really started with Mordor. I know they smoothed some things out eventually with Mordor, the 105 to 106 jump where stats... I don't know if they tripled. For some reason, what came to my mind was stats at 105 were 1/3 of the stats at 106, but that seems a little extreme, so I'm not sure that was the case. But there was a huge stat jump from 105 to 106, and just in general after Mordor. Level 120 cap, level 130 cap, level 140 cap, the stats just going insanely up, especially compared to the progression at low levels, which is generally smoother. Enhancement runes and traceries, I just hoard them personally for alts, but yeah, I think it also depends on if they are boxes of that stuff that you could actually use at higher levels, or if you're out of that level range and don't need them, maybe you could send them to a bank alt, which is kind of what I do with all my stuff. All that legendary item stuff, I just send it to an alt to store, just in case another alt that I level up will eventually be able to make use of it. What was annoying? A lot of people talk about the difficulty in Mordor and people disliking it. To me, my personal biggest issue with Mordor was actually the stat jump from 105 to 106 rather than difficulty in the content. It just made it feel gear gated rather than difficult. Because Mordor really did improve. At least my experience with Mordor really did improve once I got the initial gear and got out of the first zone, but it was more annoying than anything else to me. Okay, I think I'm getting pretty close to this camp, so I'm thinking when I get to that camp, it'll be a good time to wrap up for the day. We've been going almost 3 hours. That's pretty decently long. Gives me a chance to actually get stuff done this evening. Already in use. If we even get to that camp. I'm trying to, like, just in case that's just totally messed up, was going to try to get some other item. It was going for a second there. Yeah, the Light of Elendil, Light of Arendil. What's it called? Light of Arendil. I am not a fan of that. Kind of like I didn't have too much experience with Radiance, but wasn't a fan of that. So yeah, not really a fan of the Light of Arendil system at all either. I think it was a way for them to make Mordor feel more oppressive and dangerous like it should be. But it's another thing that just made it feel gear-gated to me rather than actually having, like, achieving the effect of making Mordor feel oppressive and dangerous and like you can't go to some place higher level than you. Or it'll be really tough. Which it kind of was. I guess that might have worked a little bit. If you had too low Light of Arendil, just from not being able to get enough at your year level or whatever, it was annoying. And of course, all the scaling instances are messed up because of the way stats work nowadays, or just how high stats are nowadays. Some content's balanced around the new stats, which is usually the newer instances, but if you run something like a Great Barrow, it'll be super easy and plow through. If you try to run some of the scaling instances, like the Osgiliath ones, at level 50, I think is when they open up, they'll actually be fairly tough. So that can be interesting for a different perspective on those, but that's because they were released around the whatever stat balance they had during Osgiliath, rather than the like level 50 stat balance at the time, even though you could start them as low as 50, which never really made sense to me, but something you can do. So it looks like as far as weapon racks and barrels, should be able to find more as I continue east, which I feel like I was just in this area. Like, I think I walked through here, got some stuff, then circled back instead of continuing, which is good because I got a bunch of quest items back there that I needed. And yeah, exploring and not being in a hurry, I think that's the, I don't know, optimal way to play LOTRO, but I think it will be a less annoying game if you have that playstyle. Oh, my health is low. Oh yeah, I never surrender. It triggered. Now I don't have that to fall back on during this lag spike. Okay, got a new copy of that up. Trying to work on a healing gambit. Okay, got that in. Something visceral, you just got 140 on your lore master, congrats. At least this month, but still. That's a lot of levels. Hey, a rare, not Mordor. Was about to say Mordor, but rare Gundabad chest. Okay, so we have a barrel here, and then we'll be looking for one more barrel, and there's one more barrel to the right, and then one more weapon rack. The weapon rack I might actually have to backtrack some for. That is my phone. Okay, I am off the phone. Yeah, and I'm about ready to wrap up the stream. Good timing, maybe? I don't know. Made it back to here. I don't know if I completed any quests for this area or what quests I even got done. I have no idea what progress I made during all that, but I did complete at least some auto pop-up quests. Like, I did some cleaning up of the halls, but didn't completely clean up the halls, so... Yep. Yeah, I really should have done this on Anor, it seems like, with the lag, but had to turn her into Louis. The mirror at Steep Set. Where's the... Oh, the mirror at Steep Set. Steep Set's over here. I gotta remember what all this stuff is in Gundabad. Sounds like a lot of people have varying characters. That's kind of what I have. Okay, so one final thing we can do. I feel like I need a break from Gunda lag, and we can exit game, but I will... Also, my headphones battery's dying, so I should probably turn them off and charge them at some point, or at least the Bluetooth part of it. But yeah, if we go to Anor, just double check my situation with all the characters. And what I'm going to do, I was asking the poll, should I make a Louis? Well, I was thinking about making a poll, but I think the obvious answer would be yes for everybody. But in general, I'm considering making a whole bunch of Louis. Like, I already have Louis 7 on Landroval. I still have all these characters on Anor I have to figure out what to do with. I have my bank alt still, so I still have a lot of stuff from Anor to go to Landroval. But what I'm considering is doing something like this. I'm just making a whole bunch of Louis on Anor, and then exiting the game, and then logging back in, and then transferring. This is why I didn't want the whole stream to be this. It's something I considered doing for, like, I don't know, an hour or whatever of this stream, which maybe y'all wouldn't mind. Like, if I had the cat cam up and could focus more on that and maybe show some of the screen. And then, yeah, so I transfer from Anor to Landroval. I transfer Louis. And then I do that, I confirm. It usually takes a minute or two for a brand new character. It's not really that long. And then I log into the game, make another Louis, and just repeat that and try to make a Louis army. It's not really much of a point to have an army of Louis, but more so to get a really high number. So if I go back to Anor, the transfer is already done, so I can log in again. And just repeat that process over and over. Try to see how high number I could get, like Louis dash whatever number. So it's something I'm considering doing still. This captain, I probably won't really keep up with him. I might transfer him just to have him on that server, but I'll be over capacity. There's this minstrel, don't really care too much about. Same with that hunter. This runekeeper would be nice to take over, at least get his stuff. I probably won't play him though. He has some things going for him. Similar with all the other characters, I will say my Bankal, I'm curious what she has. She had a lot of stuff that could just be destroyed, but has some nice crafting stuff. I think about the entirety of her vault, though, is stuff I need to get rid of and have tried to give away, but haven't been able to, so I'm just going to vendor it all. It is... Wow, there are 40 people on Anor right now? That's not anonymous, that's crazy. But all these scroll cases, I just don't need any of these. But yeah, some nice crafting mats and the such. Just take these off. I know my hair's a mess and way too long right now, but yeah. 1,000 Louis, that'd be tough, or 10,000? That'd be really tough. I thought it'd be interesting to get at least a triple digit one, so like 100. I'd have to actually make that a specific interesting character. Louis-100. Could also do 77. That'd be a neat one. But this is where the real value in this main character is. She had a lot of my crafting materials. I just eventually started dumping, hey, here's some more. Started dumping crafting materials on this character. And ultimately, that was this character's specialty. Yeah, I could do 107 as well. Anything with 7s would be nice to have. But yeah, while I'm here, I might as well make another Louis. And then maybe log on Arkenstone. I don't think there's too much interesting on Arkenstone. But yeah, there's really no reason for me to go on Arkenstone, so I'll do one more login to Landroval as a little final recap of what I have going on with my characters. I'll just take a minute. I don't really know if I want to go to the camera with my hair like this, but it's whatever. I don't really care. We're going to Landroval. If you could get 007, that would be neat. But unfortunately, they don't do that. I think even 17 could be interesting. I think that's more interesting than like 27, 37, 47 could be neat. 57, 67, etc. But yeah, we still have a couple days left for me to do this. Like if I did a stream, say, I don't know if I do Tuesday, I'd probably do Wednesday morning as my next stream. I think I could work that in with my schedule. I think. Oh yeah, now I have 24 characters. So every time I do this, every time I log into this server, I'll have to check everybody here. And I'm up to Louis 9 now, I think. So yeah, I have all these Louis unavailable. But it's something I can do. And that is the process with that. Yeah, I think I made a lot of good progress on getting my characters organized. Something I'm curious is with this captain, I was considering making Melrathel my captain on Landroval, but I'd probably remake this character rather than actually just boost this one. I don't even know how much I'd end up playing that captain, but it's something I'm considering just because I have those Valor boosts. But the reason I would want to do this one is it's a character I've had actually has an outfit. No idea what it's from. Harbark of the Mirror. Ramskin. It's like an actual outfit I made from random items, which is very unusual for me. Has a hat. Does not match at all. Oh, glad the videos have been helpful. I think this is a good point to wrap up with all the Louis. Well, not even on a Louis, so as far as this stream goes, I hope you all have enjoyed it, especially with significantly less lag from the stream end of things, less dropped frames, and a lot better connection and higher bitrate, higher quality. Internet seems to be going okay. And otherwise, the content of it, I know we spent like 2 hours organizing stuff, then an hour or so questing in laggy Matagard and Gundabad, and then a few minutes looking back at all the characters and the such. And if you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member to support the content. And thanks for joining, chatting, and watching, everyone.